So we have the Adora dishwasher. I'm not sure the model number, but it's the Adora dishwasher that looks like this, and it's a GE dishwasher. And the main problem we were having is the dishes just wouldn't get washed. They didn't get clean. When we tried all the simple things of making sure we're using good soap, making sure there was hot water, making sure that the filter was clean, we cleaned out the filters, and still was not working properly. And we'd turn on the dishwasher and let it run for several minutes, and it wouldn't do anything. It just you could hear it fill with water over here on the side. There's a little water fill up thing on the side. Let me pull this out a little bit more. So this little thing on the side is where the water gets pumped in. So there's a little solenoid right here. That's where that silver pipe right there is the water inlet. So the water comes in here. This little solenoid is controlled by the computer that opens the valve and allows the water to flow in this black pipe and then into the side of the dishwasher. So the water flows in and just goes down, and it's actually open. I was actually pouring some water or some what was I using? It was vinegar. I used a little bit of vinegar over here. So we poured in some vinegar to try to unclog it if there was hard water deposits, because we have really hard water where we live, and that can shorten the lifespan of appliances, even though we have a water softener. But the water hardness can cause things to fail. So I was like, well, maybe we need to use some vinegar, and I'd read online that using vinegar was a good way to get rid of hard water deposits. So we poured a little bit of vinegar in here, and when it first turns on, you can hear the water flowing in here. So that's how we knew that this water inlet valve and solenoid was working just fine, because the water would flow in, we could hear it and see it flowing into there and fill up the dishwasher with water. So it was getting water in it, but then after it would fill up with water, it would just sit there in silence and not do anything for a long period of time until the time cycle was up, and then the water would drain out again. So we knew the water was going in through here on the side and then just being drained out properly like it should be. So we figured out that because the water was going in and coming out, but it wasn't cycling, or we wouldn't hear any noise, it wasn't working properly. So let me demonstrate the noise that it makes when it's washing properly. Push start here. So you can kind of hear that noise. It's not water flowing in here, it's just the noise of it running on the inside. And it's not that loud, which is good. You like a quiet dishwasher, but we could now see why it wasn't working, because there was no water cycling on the inside. And if the water's not cycling on the inside like it should be, then it just needs to have the pump replaced, which is the water circulation pump, which is this one right here. This is the old one that we took out. So that water circulation pump is what makes it function, because it pumps the water in and makes the arm spin. So if I open it here, you can see those blades, those like little propeller blades, are the water little water arms. Where these things, as the water circulation pump pumps it through, it pumps water through, and the water shooting out of these blades is what causes it to spin. And that's how the dishes get clean, is the water spinning around and spraying all the dishes off and distributing the soap and the water onto the dishes like it should be to clean them off. So with that circulation pump being broken, it wasn't working, and it wasn't cleaning the dishes, and our dishes were just staying greasy and not getting clean like they should be. So we finally discovered that it was just the circulation pump that had died, and I got that replaced. It was really quite easy to replace. Beforehand, I pulled out the filter and cleaned the filter out. That's a topic for a different video, but we cleaned the filter, but that wasn't the main problem. And then finally, the way to replace the pump was just to pull the whole dishwasher out, tip it on its side, and then replace it. Really not that hard to do. And then when they sent me this new pump, they send you these little clamps that you just use a screwdriver with to clamp it down. You just use a screwdriver or a drill to tighten these. The clamps that are on there originally, you have to use little vice grips to take off, or little clamps. Like I use this little bolt cutter to take off the old clamps that were there, because they're not the kind that can be loosened with a screwdriver, the ones that it come with originally. So not that difficult to replace. I highly recommend doing it yourself. It's not that difficult. If you have a little bit of mechanical ability, you can watch some more videos, get more detail on how to do it. It's not that hard. So that sound is music to my ears. We got the dishwasher working. You can hear this sound of it working. So that sound is the circulation pump, which is right there. That circulation pump was not going before, it was not functioning, and we replaced the circulation pump. It was really quite easy to do. We just pulled it out and tipped it on its side like I showed you before. I got the new pump in the mail, put it on there, and it fixed the problem. So if your dishwasher is filling with water properly and draining properly, but it's not running or washing the dishes, then you might just need to replace the circulation pump. So that's the new circulation pump I got off Amazon for $85. Came the next day in the mail. I ordered it yesterday, it came in today. Got it replaced. Like I said before, there are less expensive suppliers of the pump. You can buy for about $45, but it would have taken several weeks to get here. So I was like, well, I really need to have a dishwasher that functions properly so we can keep our dishes clean. It's been really annoying to not have one. But it actually came quickly and was easy to fix. It was much easier to replace the pump than I thought it would be. So don't be too intimidated about replacing a pump on a dishwasher. It wasn't hard, and it's not leaking. I'm just running a test load right now. I'm just checking so you can see there's no water dripping. So anytime you replace a part on an appliance like a dishwasher or a clothes washer, you got to make sure it's not going to leak. So I'm just running a test load and then making sure there's no water coming out the bottom, and it looks great. And it's making the noise it's supposed to be making. It wasn't making this noise before. And then when you pull it open mid-cycle, you can see it's spinning and there's water coming down and it's working like it should be working. So that's a good sign that things are working better than it was before. Because there was no spinning happening, no water would be dripping down. It would just sit there in silence for an hour and then say it was done, but it wasn't really working because the circulation pump wasn't cycling the water and making it wash. So this is great that it's working again. Let's start here. Yeah, the fact that it's making that noise and cycling the water is awesome. That saved us about $600 to $800 for buying a new dishwasher, and having a service technician come do this would have probably cost just $100 for them to come diagnose the problem. And I've heard other people say it would cost like $300 to get fixed. So sometimes when you call a service technician to repair an appliance, it costs you almost half the cost of a brand new appliance. So something simple like this, it's not that difficult. You can replace the pump yourself. Just kind of how I showed you before, you pull out the dishwasher. There's other videos online about how to do it that go into more detail. You remove this faceplate here. You pull the dishwasher out. We tipped it on its side after emptying it and replaced the pump, and it wasn't that difficult to do. And here's the old pump that is bad. That's why it wasn't working. There's not really a good way to tell why it went bad. There was some black dust coming out of it, so I don't know exactly why it went bad, but it just did. We have hard water where we live, so we'll dispose of this or recycle it. So anyway, just thought that'd be a good tip to let you know that if you have a GE dishwasher that you can tell is allowing it to fill with water and drain the water, but it's not washing properly, you might consider replacing the pump, which the circulation pump that just cycles the water in the dishwasher. So hope that helps.